Hello students. In this video, we are going to discuss class 9th biology practical for ICSE. Our first practical is examination of onion peel. While doing the examination of onion peel, what we have to do, first strip the epidermis from the inside of an onion scale. In onion, there are two kind of leaves. One is scaly leaves, that is the outermost leaves, and one is the fleshy leaves, that is the edible part. So we have to take out the epidermis from the edible part. Now place a piece of the tissue on a glass slide and add a few drops of water. After that, we can add some amount of dilute iodine solution. We can add, instead of dilute iodine solution, we can have safranin also to do the staining. Now the very first question is, why the staining is important? The staining is important to view the nucleus, because nucleus will gain the color from the staining and it's easy to observe the nucleus. Now the another thing what you can notice here, first of all, onion peel is rectangular in shape and the nucleus is on periphery. This is a nucleus, and from this slide it's conclude that in case of plant cell, nucleus is on periphery. Now what precaution you have to take? Glycerin should be added before while making the slide to avoid drying. We should use cover slip to avoid air bubbles. So all 4-5 questions are very important for Viva. Now the second experiment is dissection of cross pollinated flower. If we are talking about the flower is consist of 4 important parts. The first part, which is very important in flower, is that is sepal. This one is sepal. It is green in color. Being green in color, it helps in photosynthesis. During bud stage, it provides protection also. The another part which is very important in flower is petals. Petal is the colored part of the flower. Its group is also known as corolla. They attract insects for pollination. The another part is anther or stamen or male part, that is endoecium. If we look on the diagram, it looks like this. This is anther. Inside anther there is anther lobe, and this one is filament, and in anther lobe there is powder like substance that is called pollen grains. This yellow color substance is pollen grains. Clear? The another is, or another part of the flower is stigma. So how we can draw the structure of stigma? This is stigma, this is style, and this part is ovary, and inside the ovary we have ovule. Okay, so what we have to learn? We have to learn all 4 parts of flower: stigma, style, ovary. They together known as pistil. Anther and filament together known as stamen. Petals is the colored part and sepal is the green part. Now next experiment is the identification of seed. We have 2 kind of seeds, monocot and dicot seed. In monocot we have to learn about the maize seed. This is the normal structure of a, this one is a normal structure of a maize. In maize there is a one part which is yellow in color, or one is the part which is white in color. So this region is white in color and this outer region is known as yellow color. So this part is endosperm and this region is embryo. When we have a longitudinal section, okay, then we can examine the correct structure of this seed. So this part of the seed is here. Okay, now this entire seed is divided into 2 parts. The upper region, that is 2/3 region, is known as endosperm, And the one third region is known as this one third region. This region is known as embryo. So the entire seed is divided into two parts. Two-third part is endosperm and one-third part is embryo. Then food is stored in endosperm. So most of the food is endosperm. That's why they have papery cotyledon, and that cotyledon is known as scutellum. In embryo region, the upper region is known as plumule, which develop into shoot, and shoot is surrounded by coleoptile. Coleoptile is a protective layer around the shoot. The lower region is known as radicle. Radicle develop into root, and root is surrounded by coleorhiza. Around the endosperm there is a aleurone layer. Aleurone is a protein layer. In maize, seed coat and fruit wall are fused. That's why maize is not considered as a fruit or a seed. It is considered as a grain. Endosperm and embryo is separated by a layer, and this layer is made up of epithelium. So this layer is made up of epithelium. Another experiment is the identification of dicot seed. Dicot means the seed in which two cotyledons are present. So 1 and 2, there are two cotyledons. Food is stored mainly in cotyledon. They have a one white scar like structure where the ovule was actually attached with the ovary. That part is known as hilum. Below the hilum, this is the important question, below the hilum there is a pore that is called micropyle, and micropyle is a pore from where the water enters. The outermost layer is known as testa. Testa is the protective layer around the seed. Now, in a seed there are 3-4 parts: hypocotyle, epicotyle, testa, cotyledon. So let's understand the structure of all these parts. Let's understand, this is a seed and this is the middle region where the cotyledon is attached. So this is a mesocotyle region. Now this is the region from where the plumule develops. So this is the plumule region, and the lower part, it develops into root, and this region is known as root region. The portion between the plumule and mesocotyle is known as epicotyle. Epi means upper, cotyle means cotyledon. So this region is known as epicotyle. The region between mesocotyle and the radicle is known as hypocotyle. Hypo means niche and cotyle means cotyledon, the part which is below the cotyledon. Testa is the outermost layer of the seed. The inner thin layer is known as tegmen. Our next experiment is the examination of human cheek cell. While examining of human cheek cell, what you have to do, you just run a finger round the inside of your cheek, take out the fluid from there on a clean dry slide, add a drop of methylene blue. You need to learn that solution name, methylene blue. Stain it. Why we will stain? We stain to bring nucleus more prominent. Okay, then we found some cuboidal shaped cells, and these cells are of cheek cell, and these cells are of cuboidal epithelial tissue. Our next experiment is based on different kind of phylum. The first phylum is phylum Porifera. In phylum Porifera there is unsymmetrical animals, means there is no symmetry at all. On their body of the animals of the phylum Porifera, you can notice, sorry, there is small pore-like structure. These small pore-like structures are called ostia, from where the water enters. They have one mouth-like structure that is called osculum, from where water come out. The entire body consists of small spines-like structure, which protect them from the grazing animals, and this defensive part is known as PQs. They have well-developed water vascular system, means the food enters through water, the waste come out through water. The oxygen for respiration enters through water, the waste carbon dioxide come out through water. Then coelenterate. Coelenterate are the animals, those who are having gastrovascular cavity. And in coelenterata, locomotory organ is tentacles. Look here, these are tentacles. This one is tentacle, this one is tentacle. The entire body is covered with stinging cells. Stinging cells are offensive and defensive organ of Hydra, and they are covered with mouth, epidermis is there, gastrodermis is there. They have well developed gastrovascular cavity where the food is digested. And the tentacle is not only for movement, tentacle helps to catch the prey for food. They generally found in two stages, one is medusa and one is polyp. Medusa is generally moving, M for medusa, M for moving, and polyp is stationary. They show radial symmetry. There are only two phylum, those who are showing radial symmetry. One is coelentrates and one is echinodermata. Okay, the next phylum is Platyhelminthes. Plat means flat. The body is flat. Triploblastic, three jumps layer. Acoelomate, A means absent, coelom means body cavity absent. Mouth and anus have same opening. This one is the mouth, and mouth and anus both have the same opening. On the mouth you can notice small sucker like structure from where they absorb food from the host body. They are hermaphrodite, means male and female are present on the same body. They have flame cells for excretion. This is the characteristic feature of this phylum. Next phylum is Eschelhelminthes. All three P-A-A, Platyhelminthes, Eschelhelminthes, Annelida. All three have triploblastic body, means the body is made up of three jumps layer. All three have bilateral symmetry, means we can divide the individual into two parts, left and right, from the one section only. In P, that is Platyhelminthes, no coelom. In A, that is Eschelhelminthes, pseudocoelom, false body cavity is present. And in Annelida, true body cavity is present. In Eschelhelminthes, male and female are different, and we can identify male and female. Female is straight and male is little coiled at one end. Look here. Okay, so you can identify male and female easily. Our next phylum is Annelida. Bilateral symmetry, triploblastic, these two are very clear. Coelomate means true body cavity is there. The entire body is having body segments. Look here, small segments are there. This region is known as clitellum. They have a specific body part that is called nephridia for excretion. And yes, hermaphrodite, both male and female are present on the same body. Mollusk means soft body. They respire through gills, and that gills is known as ctenidia. They have muscular foot for locomotion. They have calcareous shell. This one is the calcareous shell, and this is the organism actually. This is their antenna. This is their muscular foot. M for muscular foot, M for mollusca. Arthropoda, it is the largest phylum. If we have, we have around 65% or 70% animals out of the entire biodiversity. And from that 70%, may say be 70% insects हैं. The body is divided into three parts, head, thorax and abdomen. Look here. The body is divided into three parts, head, thorax and abdomen. These are the antenna. and they have generally three pair of legs. One, two, three. One, two, three. So they have three pair of legs. The body cavity is hemocoel. That is, hem means blood and coel means body cavity. The entire body cavity is filled with blood. They have jointed appendages. Limbs में joints होते हैं. They have compound eye. Compound eye means head के ऊपर eye होती है. Head and thorax may fuse sometime. That is called cephalothorax. Echinodermata. Echine means spines and dermata means skin. The entire body is covered with spines. This also show radially symmetry. Radial symmetry are showing by two phylums only. One is Echinodermata and one is Coelenterata. They also have well developed water vascular system, means food will enter through water and waste will leave through the water. Locomotory organ is tube feet. Next phylum is phylum Chordata. Phylum Chordata is divided into 5 classes. That is Param. P-A-R-A-M. Param. P से Pisces, A से amphibians, R से reptiles, A से apes and M से mammals. So let's understand first P, Param. Streamlined body, fishes, breathe through gills, generally oviparous. Cold-blooded, oviparous means they lay eggs. Cold-blooded means body temperature can fluctuate with the surrounding. Locomotion through fins and two-chambered heart is there. Amphibians means they can live on land and water both, generally oviparous. Pentadactyl limbs are there. Penta means 5, dactyl means digits. 5 उंगलियां होती हैं पैर में. They may have webbed feet. Webbed feet means इनके बीच में ये जाल हो सकता है, which helps in reducing the water currents. Generally they have 3-chambered heart. Reptiles, cold-blooded means body temperature vary with the surrounding. They have scales on their bodies. Oviparous, breathe through lungs. They have 3-chambered heart except in crocodile. They do not have eardrum. They do not have eardrum means they cannot listen. So here you might thinking that when वो जो सपेरा बीन बजाता है तो वो सुनते कैसे हैं? They are not listening. They are reacting on the vibrations creating by that. Next class is aves. They are warm-blooded, means body temperature remains constant. They breathe through lungs. They have hollow bones so they can fly easily. They have 4-chambered heart. Forelimbs converts into wings so they can fly, and hind limbs for walking, and they are oviparous means they lay eggs. And the last class is Mammalia, from which we also belong. They are warm-blooded means body temperature remains constant. Bilateral symmetry. Viviparous means they give birth to young ones. There are some exceptions like duckbill platypus. They have mammary glands through which they can feed their kids. They have hair on the body. They have sweat glands. They also have sebaceous glands. Sebaceous glands, that is oil glands, which keep their warm body, make the waterproof and all. So these are the certain phylums and all. So this all I want to discuss for practical, and revise all the topics very carefully, and all the best. Thank you.